the FDA is putting the brakes on red dye number 3, a synthetic dye that gives food and drinks their bright red cherry color. And here to discuss the reasons behind the ban and what it means for both consumers and the food industry is Dr. Scott Phillips, Executive Director for the Washington Poison Center. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yes. And so can you explain for someone that hasn't heard of or doesn't know what red dye number 3 is and where it's commonly found?
Sure. Well, red dye number 3 has been around for over 100 years. In the late 1800s, it was used to color fabrics and wool, and then into the food supply early in the last century. And so it's been around a long time, and it's just to change the color of something, food, cosmetics in the past, or medications, that type of thing.
Okay, and why has the FDA decided now to ban red dye number 3 after, like you said, it's been around for over 100 years and been used for so many years?
Well, recently a group filed a petition with the FDA to have it classified as a possible carcinogen, and it was found in male rats in 1990 to cause thyroid problems, swelling, and tumors. And because of that, there's a small clause in the Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act of 1958 called the Delaney Clause that if it has that potential, it should be removed. And so this group petitioned in 2022. FDA heard it and said, yeah, that's true, despite not having any human studies to show that it impacts people. But that's why they removed it, because of that animal question.
Okay. And are there any, main health concerns associated with it, though, that, is out of like animals? Like, is there anything else that you've seen that's linked that we should be worried about health-wise?
Yeah, not in humans. What's really been seen is only in male rats. There's iodine in this substance. That's what gives it some of the red color, and that increases the thyroid's activity, and that's why it sort of revs the tissue up and swells the thyroid gland. So that's the real concern.
Interesting. And how will the ban, affect consumers and just the food industry in general?
Well, it's a food colorant, as its additive category, just to change the color. It doesn't add any nutritional value or anything. There are other red colored things that we can use, and they're basically food or plant derived. Radishes, cabbage, things like that have their color, and that'll be used and changed, and where we need to have something look red, that's where they'll probably go to get that color.
Yeah, do you see any, real types of products that you can think of off of the top of your head that are really going to be affected by this? Or like you said, it's more just like a cherry color to make it look a certain way, maybe a little more delicious, but not necessarily if we can use like a natural, like beets or something.
Yeah, it won't really change anything about the flavor or anything like that at all. It's just the color of it. So things that are candies, frostings, some medications that are liquids, for example, and
like a
some
cough
tablets,
syrup or
like
something.
a cough syrup,
okay.
Yes. Even things like some condiments will have it in it, and candies, of course. But I don't really think you'll probably notice much of a difference when they make the change.
Yeah, but I guess it's just better safe than sorry to get it out, And is there a timeline on the ban to take full effect? And is there anything we should be thinking about or know during this transition period?
Well, it's a slow phase out. So food will be eliminated in 2027 and medications 2028. So it's a slow ban, and that's really because they haven't found harmful effects in people. So they're going to be a little more generous in the removing it from the food and drug supply.
Definitely. And can you discuss then any other food dyes or anything else that, are under scrutiny for potential health issues that the public should be knowing about right now?
Well, there are other food colorants and other food additives, certain preservatives, that are under sort of scrutiny by some groups that would like to eliminate that from the food supply. Colorants are kind of easy because they don't add nutritional value, just enhance the color of the food. So yellow dye number 5 and number 6, and probably red dye number 40 are the most likely things that you'll see in the coming years that might be looked at.
Yeah, definitely. And what advice do you have for people that, this is all over social media, in the news, people are talking about it. Some people are super concerned, just about these dyes in general. So what would you say to some people that have these concerns?
Well, at the amount people are taking in, the real health risk to people is non-existent. We haven't seen, the studies haven't shown any adverse health effects. But the bottom line is it's not necessary for the food. It doesn't preserve it, it doesn't do anything other than alter the color. So if someone is really concerned, then there's always organic choices or grow your own produce, things like that to eliminate it. Or ask your pharmacist if it's red dye is in that particular medication that you're prescribed.
Yeah, and what do you want the public to know about the poison control and what you all are doing and obviously here for the public?
Oh, well, thank you for asking that. So the Washington Poison Center is one of the only independent freestanding nonprofits in the United States. Of the 53 poison centers, it's unique. So we do a lot of outreach, which most poison centers don't do that. We have 3 people just to do community outreach. We give lectures, we do events in the community. We did well over 220 some last year alone. I go to multiple hospitals, 40, 50 hospitals a year, just checking in to say hi. And it's all as a nonprofit. So we do our best to serve the public, and we're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it's free of charge.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here, Doctor. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes.